From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, direct from Santa Monica, California, we go over your fourth stimulus recon, the Build Back Better Act, the social spending plan, which Chuck did it. Yesterday, late in the day, he had that Zoom chat that I told you he would, and the Democrats, including Joe Manchin, participated and said they're going to pass it. Wow. They said they're going to pass this incredible recon in January. At the same time, they're supposed to do that COLA raise. Same time, you're getting that COLA raise of 5.9%. A lot going on in the month of January. But at point, what's going to happen with this incredible recon is it will pass, and it will change across the board the provisions. Which provisions are staying in there, which are coming out. I'll explain all the latest details. Raking today, it's all quite deliciousness. Then we're going to turn to the incredible checks that are in this fourth stimulus recon, a lot of them. Upwards of $15,000 of checks. Biggest payout you've ever seen from the federal government across any of these stimulus packages. This is number 4. Then we're going to turn back to the big money available for you today. It's third stimulus. You don't have to wait around to January for fourth stimulus. You can get money this week, before holidays, before Christmas. It's called a Christmas stimulus on this channel. It's third stimulus, and viewers have averaged out about $5,000 in their hands this holiday season. I'm going to show you how to get more of this money. Moreover, in the final 5 minutes of this video, I'll stay at the very end. Then, of course, we're going to turn to that student loan debt forgiveness and the latest details of that. Plus, turn back to what's going on with that COLA raise, PIS stimulus, and also the surprises about what's going on with SNAP. Then I'll have my predictions of what's going on with the Federal Reserve in view of the new surges of cases from Omicron nationwide. Federal Reserve said it was going to leave its policies very open and maybe tailor back the tapering and not do it as aggressively. What will happen? And what about those interest rate spikes? Meantime, I give you my analysis in the final 5 minutes about how Chuck Schumer brought this all together after it looked like a hot mess over the weekend. It's all incredible great news. We've got it all here, every single check for you. Third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and everything thereafter. The excitement starts right here as Afternoons LALATE gets underway, starting right now. Hey, good day, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day and hope the weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from. Well, Chuck Schumer had that Zoom chat yesterday with all his Democratic senators, including Joe Manchin, and they said, yes, we're doing this recon in January, including Joe Manchin. Senate changes will be robust. In fact, Joe Manchin proposed more items to go into that recon, not reduce items. Wow, this is really surprising news. Not a reduction, but an addition, including the push for that MSC still on front burner. The programs at least will provide you at least $15,000, but you're going to see in this recording how it may be upwards of $50,000. But no time or place to wait for January because you got money available for you right now. It's called third stimulus. We call it Christmas stimulus on this channel because this is a channel, the number one in the United States. It gets people big sums of money. It's LALATE, number 1 in geopolitical news, and number 3 overall in the financial markets. I'm glad you found me today. I'm going to show you how to get that money available today. This is the money you need for the holidays. We'll be turning also to that COLA raise and that 5.9% coming up in January. What does this impact on your SNAP benefits and your Social Security retirement checks? I got all the details you want to know and all your questions asked and answered additionally. Then we'll be turning back to my predictions of what's going to happen later this week, and we'll be looking at what will be happening with the Federal Reserve because the situation is now very fluid with the COVID surges across the country. After just a week ago, we saw nearly only 3% of U.S. cases for Omicron. They're now over 70% is now the dominant strain. I'll have all that analysis and more. Stay to the very end. But first, you want to subscribe. Go right on this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Be part of the fastest growing channel in the nation, LALATE. Fastest growing financial news channel there is. Subscribe and become a member. The membership link is under the video and also the top of the chat. Become a member today to get the incredible newsletter that everyone talks about that shows you the big money you can get from first, second, and third stimulus. Also, sign up for those LA alerts. The only news alert system of its kind in the nation. It is available right now. Sign up for that LA alerts because you don't want to miss anything across the board. A link to that is also in this video. With that, let's go right into this incredible fourth stimulus recon that's going to pay you at least $15,000 of checks. And while Fox News may have thought it had a sort of a victory dance on Sunday, it eroded very quickly. As now between Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden, they have gotten everything back on track with a vote, with union agreement among his Democrat caucuses as of yesterday. And that's going forward across the board. There's an incredible $15,000 of checks in this incredible recon. We're going to go over each of them, starting with the first of three clusters of three add-ons. Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. Cluster number one, Hazard Pay got in there. For my essential workers, the Earned Income Tax Credit for one more year. $4,000 of elder care got in there. $4,000 of care for young children got in there. They also got the Pell Grant, $550 check for my college students, got that in there. They got in there home repairs if you live in a low-income community, and they got the CTC, the Child Tax Credit, for the young children, $3,600 approximately. And then they finally got in there the $12,500 for the purchase of a new home. A new electric car. Incredible. Yeah, can you buy a home for $12,000? No, that's for the electric. There's not an electric home yet in this package, but give it by the end of the week. There will be. And $12 ice cream as well. Let's go to the first add-on of checks. The first add-on of checks comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters here from Southern California. Has it been cold where you are? It's been brutally cold here, folks. And we got rain coming on again. Yeah. And if anyone comments about the strange particular glow, it's because there's a lot of darkness outside. It's just a lot of darkness. So the first add-on comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters. It is $25,000 for the purchase of your first home. You heard me right. That was not a misstatement. She wanted to get 25. It's a little bit less. But yes, you heard me right. This is free money to buy your first home. This is not a game show. This is actually reality. How do you get this incredible sums of money? It's coming up later in this video. I'm so excited for you. It's a great, exciting day. Just a few days away from Christmas. Here we go. Home repairs and paid leave in that second cluster. Wow, this is great money. Universal pre-kindergarten, expansion of the household tax credit as well. And then when we talk about home repairs, is that another round of home repairs? No, it's a different one. This one is to weatherize your home. Yesterday, someone said, it's very good for you to make jokes about weatherize your home. You just live with surfboards all day long. Yeah, I do. That's indoors, trust me. I do not have the guts to be surfing in this type of weather outside. It's just, yeah, it is brutally horrible weather outside. I'm dying. It's 58 degrees. No, it is a little bit colder here in Los Angeles. I know people always tease people in Los Angeles about our cold weather. Let's go to the second add-on and checks. You're all going in on me on that one. I know it. Here comes the emails. I just see them coming. You shouldn't make fun of people's weather. Come and live with the snow and mow and shovel my front yard, and then you'll appreciate it. $250 billion of free money. Money got in there from Bob Casey. This is your home health care and home health care for people on disabilities and seniors. It would not be a check, but it would be a covered benefit. Wow, it's incredible. Now, when we go to that third cluster, which we're going to right now, that is where the big money kicks in. Deliciousness overload. So here we go. Seniors and free internet among the provisions in this third cluster. You ready? Free school meals for all checks. Then we got cheaper prescription medication. We got the money for the farmers. We also got the money for the free internet. We got the independent contractors. We got the covered benefits, finally, for the seniors. 2 provisions added on the House and 3 vowed to come from the Senate. On the House side, they got in there the expansion of seniors' benefits for Medicare by doing the Medicaid gap fix and the hearing. The senators say that's good. You got 2, we got 3 more to do on the Senate side, and that is dental, vision, and also lowering the eligibility of Medicare age, and that would potentially drop as low as 55. That's par for course of what we're talking about with the senators, because one thing that's particularly not clear is that in the last 2 weeks, you have been watching that reality TV show called The Real Housewives of West Virginia, and you're just sort of tired of it. And guess what? legislators in the Senate have had no time to add their provisions in. So where are those MSCs? Where is the push to add things in there like the Medicare expansion? Haven't gotten to it. And that is what they're doing in January. In fact, they started doing it yesterday during that incredible Zoom chat. I'll be going over the details of that Zoom chat after the commercial break. But that MSC would follow what they said since May. What is MSC? MSC refers to multiple IRS stimulus checks. The reason why we use the word MSC on this channel is because there are multiple checks in this RECON, upwards of $15,000 of checks. But these would be the ones sent out by IRS. And back in the month of May, 6 senators said they're going to give it to you. They said they were going to give it to you, and we continue to advocate. Thousands of viewers were told back in the month of May it would be coming. And then 2 weeks ago when the legislation landed in the Senate, we re-advocated. And what happened? Told again, it's going in there. The wonderful Donnie was told by Ron Wyden's office that's going in there, and also his wife Sharon heard the same thing. Lynn Glenn being told the same thing by Chris Coon's office, then Tyrell being told the same thing from Bob Casey's office. Then Bonnie being told the same thing by Liz Warren's office, and Jen started the ball rolling by being told it's going in there from Chuck Schumer's office via Bernie Sanders. When we talk about MSC, what are we talking about? Single individuals, $75,000 less, got it. Third stimulus check, they proposed to do it the same way. They proposed to do fourth the same way they did third. Married couple, $150,000 less, got it, double it. Family of four, got it, quadruple it. Now, if you know benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits as well, you get it as well. It's what they propose. It's not income. It ain't taxes. It ain't taxable, and it's not state stimulus, so it's not like a state governor can decide to give it to you or not. This is national assistance, and this would also go out to adult-dependent people on disabilities as well. This is what they have proposed, and guess what? We now have the path forward proposed for January to get this all in there. But the number one guy in that RECON, his chief of staff, says, you know what? You need to pick up the phone and advocate, because guess what? We're not over the finish line just yet. We're at the edge of the finish line. And the chief of staff to the number one guy in the RECON tells LALATE News the following. They now have a total between congressional and Senate's offices see more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. They now have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic because of LALATE. They have heartbreaking stories in the LA viewers, and they are the voice of the people in LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Nearly 8 million phone calls have been made. The graphic at the time, 2 months ago, showed 3 million. That's how quickly we've grown. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy. As a professional voice of the people, you have become until this becomes law. Because this channel has become the biggest place in the United States for advocacy of that RECON. And what's important for you to advocate is to pick up the phone and call them today. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Pick up the phone and speak to their staff and say, I need a stimulus check or more. Do not use the word MSC. They won't understand it. Use simple words. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. At least speak to a staff. At worst, leave a voice message. But also give yourself time to advocate for your wallet. And as the Omicron variant, which originated in South Africa, is now spreading across the United States at nearly a massive growth rate we've never seen ever in the history of this channel, it's important for you to get money that's available right now. And how do you do it? It's third stimulus. And in the second half of this video, I'm going to show you how viewers have killed it, have done so well, getting on average $5,000 in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, we're talking about now. We're not talking about early this year, because that money is still available. How do you get this money? It's coming up in the second half of this video. Get your pen and paper ready. You want some money for Christmas gifts? You want some money for a holiday trip or a holiday meal? I'm going to show you how to get it. It's in the second half. It's third stimulus. Then we're going to cut back to the breaking news about what happened with that Zoom meeting yesterday and where we're going forward on this fourth stimulus RECON. Senate situation has been very fluid, and it still has about $15,000 of checks, but there could be a lot more. Senate changes will be very robust. We now learn as of today's breaking news, and then we're going to be turning briefly over to that student loan debt forgiveness offer. Will the Democrats take it? This is going by executive order only. And then, of course, we go over to the COLA raise, 5.9% in your SNAP benefits, and the impact on fifth stimulus coming in January. All those details and more as we go into a big second half. I'm excited you're here, and this, my friends, is LALATE. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in the second half of there's a big show. The RECON will be passed in January, so says the Democrat caucus, including Joe Manchin. After a Zoom chat yesterday, how the latest details of the Senate changes that are coming in, they're going to be very robust. A lot more changes and more stuff going in than coming out. The RECON will have lots of programs in there that'll pay you at least $15,000, if not a lot more. But no time or place to wait for January. You can get money right today from Third Stimulus. And Third Stimulus is paying out fortunes, $5,000 on average to viewers this channel this week. I'm going to show you how to get that big money. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus the breaking details of that. COLA raise 5.9% come in January. What you need to know about that and more. Plus, we'll be looking at what the Federal Reserve is likely to do in the face of the spreading of Omicron, really overtaking the U.S. economy, potentially causing disruption of travel, leisure, and hospitality right now. Will the Federal Reserve taper slower than initially predicted? I'll have my analysis in the second half. Plus, get ready for my commentary in the final minutes of this video. You know it's going to be good in view of the dramatic developing details. And with that, I want you to subscribe. Go right on this video and become a member. The membership link is under the video as well. Sign up for that membership so you get the incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. And don't forget to hit the like button as well. And here we go as we go into the big second half, as America is trying to battle the spread of Omicron in a way we did not think was really possible. And we're trying to deal with preventing any more further closures or business interruption. What's going on with fourth stimulus? Let's go into all the incredible details starting right now. It has been a very fluid situation, and I had told you a week ago that you could not miss an hour or a day of this channel, or you would literally not be able to catch up. I mean, here's an example. If you had heard the news Sunday and you heard what happened with Joe Manchin, but heard nothing about Monday, Tuesday, or today, then you would say, oh, I heard Joe Manchin. That's all I need to know. No, because again, apparently Joe Manchin flipped on Monday and then flipped more on Tuesday, actually reverted more. So the situation is very, very fluid. You will always say that politicians change their opinions as often as they say change their shirts. But this was an example of a week in which it was really a lot of changing of things. Let's go over what's happening and the latest right now. The latest right now is that a Zoom chat was held Tuesday, as I told you it would be. The Zoom chat featured all Democratic senators, as I told you it would be. And I told you Joe Manchin was going to appear during the Zoom chat. He was not going to hide out. He did, and it actually went really well. You got to really give a gold star to Chuck Schumer on this one. Chuck Schumer called the Zoom chat, but allowed Joe Manchin to go first and explain what's going on. And Joe Manchin said, I have never changed my position in all these months. Joe Manchin said, I've always supported this recon, and I've always said that. Yeah, did you not watch your own interview Sunday, Joe? That's not what you said Sunday. So Joe Manchin says, I always supported this recon. I always wanted to pass the recon. Well, why did you say the opposite last Sunday? Then Joe Manchin said, I love the provisions of this recon, and I think we need to do more provisions. Uh, yeah, I'm getting a headache from this. Are you? Who is this guy? How many versions of Joe Manchin are there? This is that other version. So the version on Sunday was one. The version on Monday said was the delay Joe Manchin. He said, "Well, I'll maybe do the recon, but make some changes and maybe I'll think about it." That was the quote. Let's recap. There's three versions of Joe Manchin. Sunday Joe Manchin. I don't want to hear about this recon ever again. Don't bring it to the Christmas party. I don't want to see it. I won't open the door for it. That was Joe Manchin on Sunday. Monday's Joe Manchin, in a different interview, said, I sort of like the recon. So if you show up at the Christmas party, I'll check it up. I'll look at it. And if I like its bad Christmas sweater, maybe I'll let it into the party. Today's Joe Manchin, that was Monday. Tuesday's Joe Manchin was, I love the recon. I will let it into the party and I'll let it serve the turkey. Who, how many versions of this guy is there? So let me tell you what his position was during the Tuesday Zoom chat. It was that I love the recon. I want to do the recon. I always said I want to do the recon. No, you haven't. You've changed your position. And that I want to add some more stuff in there. Now, this is what I thought was fascinating, was that he did not go into the details, says a series of sources close to the meeting, which was really not leaked to press. I mean, it was very under tight lips. He did not say, I don't like that. We need to change this provision, that provision, this provision. He said, I want to add more provisions. Hey, fine. Go for it, my friend. Go add as much as you want, so long as you keep our stuff in there. We are good. So what did he want to add in there? He wants to really go after the wealthy, who he says is not paying their fair share of taxes. He wants to go after corporations, who he says are not paying their fair share of taxes. And he basically wanted to do more wealth allotment. He wanted to make sure that the government is pulling in enough revenue on taxes that it should be pulling in. Okay, let's do that. Just as long as you leave the rest of our stuff alone, we're good, Joe. There we go. Now it sounds very Jekyll and Hyde-ish. It is. It sounds like it just switches with the hour. It is. It absolutely is. If you missed everything from Saturday today, I'm sorry. There's a lot to have catch up on. It is like War and Peace at this point. But basically, here is what it has looked like, was that Joe Manchin had made very clear there's certain provisions that he did not like at all, and certain provisions that he liked but were incorrectly written. So what is really the sort of the takeaway of where we are right now? January, the vote would happen. January, the recon would undergo a lot of major overhauls. And the major overhauls that apparently, unless Joe Manchin changes again, need to be done is certain provisions may have to come out. Certain provisions absolutely have to be added in there. And certain provisions have to be modified. And you can do this several ways. Ironically, Joe Manchin has now given us a very good olive branch that certainly changes the procedure different than what it was yesterday. Yesterday, I would have said, you change all this during the voting process. Now we don't have to, because Joe Manchin says, let's just change it right now. We can all agree upon on the Zoom chat everything we need to change, and then we'll call the vote. Hey, that's even easier. The ways I've talked about how to fix things is you have a floor debate, then you go after one another and you say no, yes, then change, then vote. And then if you need to change again, you change again, then vote around, and then change. Joe Manchin's like, no, I like it. Let's just change everything now and change what we need to change now, and we're done. Okay, that's real easy. That's the easiest way for me. So where do I think things are happening, and where do I think things are changing? So Joe Manchin has said he does not like the paid leave, because he wants the paid leave, but he wants to go by bipartisanship. If the normal Joe Manchin from yesterday has that consistency, then he will understand bipartisanship for paid leave is never going to happen, because there is no Republican. There is no Republican. There's not enough Republican votes to get paid leave to go by bipartisanship. So you can't you can't put your hand on that. So I think he will, if we get Tuesday's Joe Manchin paid leave is going to be fine and stay in there. Then Joe Manchin has a big problem with the way the CTC is written, and I think that I've heard him say that enough, that I've heard the strange Joe Manchin, the good Joe Manchin, that I think it's going to get fixed, and it's going to get fixed the appropriate way. At issue is the following, is that the child tax credit, CTC, was supposed to be a one-year program, $3,600 approximately for children under a certain age or in a low-income family. And it's a continuation of a program that ran for 1 year under third stimulus that is now expiring. So Joe Manchin says, I'll do 1 year. I want to do 1 year. I want us to have 1 year. You want us to have 1 year. But you absolutely, as a viewer, do not want to see a newborn child getting $60,000 of checks over the next 18 years. Your eyes are probably bulging out when I say that. $60,000 over 18 years. You think that's crazy, as we all do. One, you don't want them paid that type of money. Two, you don't want everyone else's taxes paying for that child for $60,000 over 18 years. Number three, it's supposed to be a 1 year program, because you saw the opening parts of this recording. What's going on is that Joe Manchin, the Congressional Budget Office, was a nonpartisan organization, and many different outlets have said the White House has used tricky language on purpose to masquerade 20-year language as 1 year language. Because the White House originally wanted these programs to run for 20 years at a $7 trillion price tag, couldn't get it. Reduced it to 10-year programs at a $3.5 trillion price tag, couldn't get it. Then reduced it to 1 year programs, 1 year programs at 1.75, 1.9 trillion price tag. And then we look at the language and we realize it ain't 1 year. It's gone back to that 20-year program. So someone in the White House has been told this repeatedly since May, because I've been making the recordings about this very subject matter since May, and has not fixed it. And so I believe these are among the issues that Chuck Schumer is going to really have to come in and say, listen, I didn't write the legislation. The House wrote the legislation. We're in the Senate, and we're changing this language. If it's 1 year, it's going to say very clearly it's 1 year. I have full faith, 100% full faith in Chuck Schumer to get that done. He is not going to play games. He does not play games with stuff like this. This is very, yeah. She does that. She likes to sort of, remember for 2020 when Nancy Pelosi kept on saying that state and local, California was going to go bankrupt and needed $300 billion, and we did not need it here. And she kept on telling Steve Mnuchin, they need the money. They're going to go bankrupt. They're not going to go bankrupt. They never were going to go bankrupt, and nor can they go bankrupt. But they weren't going to default, is a better word, I guess you'd say. And so I have full faith that Chuck Schumer will fix this. So the nuance of how to change the RECON is different today than it even was yesterday. Yesterday, I was telling you that they'll probably change these provisions because Joe Manchin is so hold offish at the moment during the voting process, and sort of push him in a corner and modify here and modify there to have him push back. Now he's like, no, I'm good. Let's just change lots of things together. And you can change them by putting in that MSC. Absolutely. Remember, as you heard earlier in this video, they have not gotten to adding anything in there for the Senate. So Bernie, Liz, Chris Coons, Casey, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, they all have that MSC to add in there. Joe Manchin now has his tax stuff he wants to add in there. Ron Wyden, he has all the Wyden stuff he never added in there. Bernie has the three items for Medicare expansion. So there's a lot of stuff the senators have to add in there. You're going to see more pen to this RECON than eraser, and it's very good news. I'm very, very happy to have this as the narrative and the news cycle potentially now through New Year's. It's really a real testament to Joe Manchin really waking up that he had said something really quite awful on Sunday, and he's never going to admit that he did something quite awful on Sunday. He really did. And that Chuck Schumer really saying, you know what, I'm the senator, I'm the majority leader, the president is not. It is not the place of the president to be calling these shots anymore. It is my job to get it done, and I'm going to get done. So let's go into these incredible checks that are in this RECON. Get that pen and paper ready. Oh, just exciting. Just so exciting when we go over all these incredible checks one at a time, starting right now. Because Because guess what? These checks pay you at least $15,000 until we even get to those add-ons, what we were just talking about in this recording. And we go over each of those checks right now. They got in there the paid leave, which looks like it may stay in there, which is $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year, $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year, $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Yes. And it's for all income qualifications, all levels of workers, W-2, 1099. If you don't work, but your son or daughter works and they take you to the doctor once a week, they will get the check for you. Incredible. They got in there the SALT cap, which is the incredible raising of how much you can deduct in state and local taxes on the federal tax return, raising it up from $10,000 to $72,500. It's huge, and it's absolutely incredible. They got in there the $40 billion of free job training because you want that to get that higher paying job. And this will be totally free. Then they got in there one of the best provisions of RECON, which is the Medicaid gap fix. Great. It is a lot of help. I get this question all the time from viewers. Where is the cheaper medical insurance? Well, here it comes. They're going to provide a lot of it. 12 holdout states, Republican holdout states, vowed to never pay for Obamacare. So now the Democrats will provide a workaround plan that will provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. They got in there also the incredible housing assistance. And this is where all the deliciousness heats up, because $150 billion with 6 programs, and 3 are new, which are home repairs, first-time home purchases, and also the incredible weatherize your home. And 3 provisions are eerily familiar. Why are they familiar? Because they're repeat from third stimulus. They are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news, you don't have to wait for them in January. You can get them today. And it's third stimulus. So get your pen and paper ready. Here is your Christmas stimulus. Very, very exciting. Holiday stimulus. We're going to go over all those incredible details right now. Let me explain to you what's going on, and especially if you just found this channel. A year ago, in December 2020, Americans were looking at their wallets, realizing they had used up all first stimulus, and they were waiting for second stimulus between Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi's negotiations. Weren't happening, wasn't happening, and I said, you need money. So I stepped forward and I got people $250,000 of rent in a time in which it was really hard to get rent. Tyrone and his family of 4 got $15,000 of rent, made their entire holiday season. At the time, the message was the same message I said today, which was, this is how it works. You have a wad of cash in your pocket. It's the cash to pay the landlord the rent this month of December. Let's say the rent's $1,000. It's $1,000 of a wad of cash in your pocket. Let's say someone comes around and says, you know what? Don't take it out of your pocket. I'll pay the rent for you. Keep that money in your pocket, and they pay your rent. Suddenly you have an extra $1,000 in your wallet. You can take $200 out to buy some holiday meals and holiday gifts and maybe some holiday travel. $300 out to buy something else. Let's say the utility money is in the second pocket of the other pants pocket, and it's the money to pay the utility company this month. It's $300. And someone else comes by and says, don't take it out. I'll pay it for you. You can keep that money in the wallet and go fix the tire because you're missing a snow tire for the holiday season. That is how we do financial independence on this channel. Get as much money as you can on the come, not waiting for something. And guess what? You did really well. You got $250,000 in December 2020. But also at the time I saw a body of legislation, I had exclusively on this channel. I said, I'm looking at this for next year. I'm going to call this third stimulus. Third stimulus. I coined the expression. And I said, there's a $14 stimulus check in there, but I'm more excited about the money that elsewhere is in there. I think I can get you $15,000. I said, we're not going to be a donut guy. Donut guy refers to someone who just wants the $1,400 check in January 2021. I said, I'm going to show you how to get the $15,000 when it becomes law in January 2021. When it became a law, you listened, you became a Purple Hawk, you pounced, and got that money, but got a lot more than $15,000. The average viewer of this channel got $45,000 from third stimulus. By listening and doing what they had done in December 2020, doing it again, and not focusing on a $14 stimulus check, which of course was going to come in the mail. You didn't have to do anything for that. That was going to come. This is how we rocked and roll. Imagine you're here as a member, a subscriber, a viewer, and you have $45,000 in your wallet, and your neighbor, he's a donut guy, he has $1,400. Imagine how long he lasted in early 2021 on that donut mentality. Very few days. You lasted much longer at 45,000. Then during the summer, I said you can get another round. Then 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I looked at the situation. I had already showed you how to get Christmas gifts and Christmas meals, but you and I knew that fourth stimulus was not going to land in your wallet before Christmas. And I said, get that third stimulus right now. Get it right now. And viewers are surprised. What do you mean get it right now? And this is what they didn't know. First, they didn't know you can get another round. I'll explain what another round is in a second. Second, they didn't know that if you never got it, that you could still get it. And this is among the most even sophisticated viewers. So I said, here's what you do. You're going to get another round of rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And boy, have the viewers done so well. The average viewer of this channel has gotten $5,000, 46 months of rent, 2 utilities in the last 2 weeks. And since I've been bringing back in the final 5 minutes of this video, the additional sums of money you can get, they've been getting an extra $600 to $900 on top of that. So they're moving more towards the $6,000 range. I got to tell you, everyone's hovering around this number. I've not had really low numbers, but I also have had very high numbers. One viewer getting 138,000. Yeah, you heard me right. Another getting $40,000. So get your pen and paper ready. We can get this incredible sums of money right now. Now, if you're at this point of this recording and you're a member and a subscriber, as a member, I want you to pull out that newsletter, get in front of you. If you're not a member, I want you to get a pen and paper out and start taking notes. And I also want you, if you just found this channel, to refocus yourself. Because guess what? Even as I deliver the really good news about Joe Manchin and Chuck in January, I'm starting to get those comments, and I don't want to see those comments. You know exactly what the comments are. So what day in January would the vote be, and what day would the check go out? Lord, you are starting 2022 on the wrong note. I'm giving you a lot of tough love. I'm really coming in tough with you right now. Third stimulus available right today. $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $12,000. $4,000. This is money available right now, and you're already looking at the calendar, marking the day in which there's a vote in January. That is wrong. You are not focusing on cash. There's a wad of cash in the corner, behind the tree, behind the plant. Grab the cash, get the cash today. Stop penciling in a date for a vote in January. For thinking that you're getting something nice and automatic in the mailbox, you are doing donut mentality. We ain't doing that in 2022. 2021 was a transformative year because this channel came on the map and really had to revamp people's mentalities, really warped by other channels, warped by other people that focused on just getting things automatically. I said, this is how you get financial independence. And I got a real breakthrough year with you and this channel. 2022 will be taken to a next level. Well, we're never going to see that. What day is the vote? What day are they saying out the stuff? Do not focus on that. Get that pen and paper ready. We'll go over the big money for rent right now, and boy, I'm excited for you. So this money for rent is a lot of it, and it is just astronomical. So the money for rent has gone up a lot. It was this graphic 3 months ago. And is now upwards of $40,000. Where the 6 places you get the money from? Here we go. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You do 3 must. You must reach out to all different places. All 6 places. Number 2, you must get multiple applications on file. Number 3, you must do multiple rounds. What is a round? So, for example, let's say you got paid earlier this year, get paid again today. If you got paid yesterday for the months of October, November, December, go to another organization, get paid for January, February, March tomorrow. That's how you do multiple rounds. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Next, you get utilities. Utilities are a lot of money. Get every utility you have paid. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000 for this channel for utility assistance. Snap. Get it from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to them. This is money for food, and it has gone up a lot. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Over 10 years, he's getting $250,000 from this channel. Get combo items, and boy, a lot of it. Nisi started with Art Sullivan. They got 3. And ever since then, I said, get 3 like Nisi and Art. Mark was at 2 at 32. Then he got to 50 with 4 with 3. And then he's at over 100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's at 120, which turns us to the incredible 3-part story about Johnny. He does it exactly the way I tell you to do it. Part 1 of Johnny's story was he started on Monday with $0. By Wednesday, he had 3 programs approved. $45,000. A lot of money for a lot of viewers watching this channel, $45,000. But he heard my message in the recordings. Don't stop with those pots of money. Get more. And he did. By the end of the week, he had 7 programs approved. How did he get 7 programs approved? With at least 15 phone calls. You can have a 50% rejection rate potentially on the high end when you make those phone calls. So be prepared to hear a no, but you're also going to hear a yes. And he got $80,000 in 1 week from this channel from third stimulus earlier this year. Then, part two of his incredible story followed the next Monday when his two family members said, "What did you do last week?" "I got $80,000 from LALATE." They said, "I've heard about him, but from what?" He said third stimulus. He said, "How come I haven't heard about this?" He explained to them, broadcast media doesn't cover it. He does. He's number one in the United States on geopolitical news. Let me show you how to do it. And he did. And those two family members by the end of the week got $50,000 each. In a week like this, when Joe Manchin's front page news, how much broadcast media has told you about these programs this week? Nothing. Nothing. They just ran Real Housewives of West Virginia on rerun all day long. And Joe this and Joe that and this Joe and that Joe. They don't tell you about the money. They don't care to get you the money. They just care to get their ratings. Now, let's go to the third part of the incredible Johnny story, which was 3 weeks ago. Johnny gave me a message, said, "Hey, people kept on coming over the house, and I kept on helping them." I said, "How many people did you help, Johnny?" He said, 32. My goodness, Johnny, what'd you do? We watched the videos, we became members, we became subscribers, and over the last few weeks, those 32 people got $850,000 from this channel. Wow. If you've not become a member, go right on this video right now, folks, and become a member. Get that incredible newsletter, Monday through Friday, that features the 6 places featured in this recording. You want to reach out to all those 6 places. Then it features the 3 you must do. It features the keywords you must say. It also features stuff not covered in the recording, like the 5 nonprofits, what the nonprofits pay for, the one nonprofit that helps with home repairs. It features the treasury money, the treasury statement about the money you want to read before reaching out to get that money. So consider becoming a member right today and get that big sums of money under this video. Let's turn back into the exciting details of that fourth stimulus RECON, going back into that housing provision, which is where we left off. Home repairs, low-income families, low-income communities, the weatherize your home, all types of homes at the moment. And then finally, the first-time home purchases, this will be money given to the seller in your name by the federal government at the time of escrow. What else is in this incredible RECON? Well, there is a lot of other stuff and a lot of other provisions. Let's go over them right now. $150 billion of in-home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. They got in there the $550 check for the Pell Grant. They got in there the $65 per month for nutrition. And then they got in there one of the best provisions of this entire RECON, the cheaper medicine. Day one, 20 medications will be dramatically discounted due to an agreement that will feature Medicare Part B and Medicare Part D, the most expensive medications out there across the board, like cancer, arthritis, and also diabetes. An insulin dose dropping from $1,000 to $35 a dose. It'll grow from 20 medications in year 1 to 30 medications in year 2028 and cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. And with that, when you look at this graphic, $15,000 of checks, you clearly see that it's far more than $15,000 of checks. It features everything from third stimulus that was in there, that's $45,000. It features those Senate add-ons. The MSCs haven't even been added in there. All the Bernie stuff that needs to be added in there. So we are clearly over at least $50,000 before we get to the Senate add-ons. What are some of those other checks that are in there that are important to remember? They got in the universal pre-kindergarten, 3 to 4-year-olds. They got in there the incredible nutrition. We got in there the Pell Grant and the housing. But then several of those provisions are going to expire that were in third stimulus. And so Congress will have to come in and rewrite the language. It won't take a long time to rewrite the language. And those provisions that are expiring now, because they did not get it done in December, are the earned income tax credit for hazard pay for my essential workers. It'll have to be rewritten so it reactivates. Same thing for the for the CTC, the child tax credit, and also for the child care. And with that, let's jump over just a blink of an eye over to that student loan debt forgiveness offer that the president has made for executive order. The offer would be $10,000 of student loan debt to be forgiven across the board. The president already forgave student loan debt for individuals who became disabled and went to work in the nonprofit sector or the public sector after graduation. COLA and your fifth stimulus and your SNAP. Let's go over everything you need to know about that starting right now. So COLA is coming at 5.9% January 1. So your benefits are going up 5.9% starting January 1. This is everyone, SSI, SSDI. You don't have to do anything. It's automatic. Your benefits are income. Your benefits are income. So as your income goes up, your SNAP will go down. Now, your SNAP is not going to go down astronomically because your benefits are only going up 5.9%. In some cases, your benefits aren't going down at all. I have gotten strange messages from viewers saying my benefits are going down astronomical amounts. That's not because of COLA. Something else you've done, and you need to contact SNAP right away. They're talking about their SNAP going down a lot, not their benefits. Finally, fifth stimulus, and how does that impact this across the board? So fifth stimulus basically says, COLA doesn't work. Get rid of COLA. Get rid of the graphic COLA. Go buy and bring in a new benchmark. That benchmark would be inflation. And inflation would be 3% next year, potentially in December. They're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, remove the marriage penalty, and raise your benefits up one big time to get caught up. When would they do fifth stimulus? They would do fifth stimulus starting in January at the same time as fourth stimulus. Yeah, they can do two bodies of legislation at the same time. No problem whatsoever. And with that, let me go into the final minutes of this video where I go over my commentary about the Federal Reserve and my commentary about the RECON. And and also show you how to get more money from third stimulus. What a day it has been. Wow, I'm excited you're here. So first, Federal Reserve. I believe that in January, you are going to see at the next Fed meeting that the Fed is going to reverse its policies from December. This is my prediction. The Federal Reserve in December had two subject matters to confront. Tapering, which is removing its support of the U.S. economy by buying mortgage-backed securities, which dated back to the start of the pandemic, and also potential future interest rate spikes. The Federal Reserve's message in December was the following. We're not doing interest rate spikes or even talking about them until we're done with tapering. Number two, we'll taper faster because the economy is too robust, because the economic data is too strong. The growth is good, but the inflation is at 6.9%. And then the Federal Reserve said, but we are not going to box ourselves in a corner. We may have to make changes if something happens with the variant Omicron. And they did name check Omicron. Well, my opinion is that that was at a time in which Omicron was less than 3% of U.S. cases. And guess what has happened in 1 week? We have gone from 3% of U.S. cases of Omicron to 70% of U.S. cases. ICU beds are at full capacity. Once again, we are seeing massive surges. There's new concerns about school closures, travel and leisure, hospitality, business disruption. Business disruption is going to be rampant between now in March. The worst part of Omicron, or at least the more dangerous variant at the moment, is still Delta, will be in January because it takes several weeks to get sick, several days until you realize you go to the hospital, then potentially you get more ill, then the data comes out in January. So we're not going to see the data until January. That's about when the Federal Reserve is going to look at it and say, this is going to interrupt growth in the United States economy. I'm not going to remove the support from this economy because guess what? This looks like December 2020 again in January 2022. So that is my prediction with the Federal Reserve. Now let's turn back to your RECON. And boy, this is why I'm so proud of viewers of this channel, because on Sunday, when Joe Manchin, for some people that are uninformed, do not watch this channel and do not take the time to learn about stuff, may have heard Joe Manchin's interview and said, oh boy, I just want to go out and, buy a cemetery plot now. And viewers of this channel, I adored the viewers of the channel more than perhaps I've ever adored you, was your comments on Sunday. Because people are just like, okay, there he goes again. The comments were basically the following. I've already taught you that Joe Manchin changes his opinion every 10 seconds. Joe Manchin always says no, and then when he votes, he says yes. And when you push him in a corner to have an opinion, he eventually says yes. I also told you that he gives very strange interviews and always has given very strange interviews. Maybe he's just not savvy with the media, that the media wants to get a certain answer and he sort of backs himself in the answer and then he regrets he gave that answer. It was, by the way, Fox News, of course. So you didn't react in any particular way to him other than say, oh, that's Joe. See you in January. I love it because guess what? By Sunday, we had learned that the White House had several plans to still move this forward. By Monday, we had a different interview from Joe Manchin that said, I still want to do the RECON. That my words have been sort of twisted. No, you twisted your own words. Sorry, Joe. And then certainly by Tuesday and now today, we know that Joe Manchin has reaffirmed that he always wanted to pass the RECON. He, I guess, doesn't express himself well. I guess is the polite way to say it. And that, here we go. Here we go. What is my personal sentiment? My personal sentiment is I'm very happy that he did not, that he did show up to the Zoom chat on Tuesday, that he didn't come out into that Zoom chat and say, okay, I got 30 provisions this RECON. I hate them. Take them all out. Otherwise, you're having big trouble coming for me. I mean, that was one version of Joe Manchin I was seeing potentially coming. He didn't. He said, I like it. Now, what has my message been since last Wednesday, which actually started last summer? I hope that now that Joe Manchin has sort of come around, that Chuck Schumer has solved the situation, that the persons in the White House that are really making me quite upset, that are not fixing language that is trickery language, fixes the trickery language, because if they don't, they could tee off, or whatever the expression is, turn on the switch for that bad Joe Manchin to come back again, because you don't want to see the bad side on me either. You don't want to see my bad side either. There are provisions that are great in there that are written poorly, and they've been told for months to fix the language. Now, it's not their job to fix the language, but it's their job not to interfere. And you know what I'm going to say. Back in the summer, the White House sent Brian Deasy and a few other guys over to Chuck Schumer's office to interfere with the whole involvement. I wish they would just step away, stay out, let Chuck Schumer take care of it. He knows how to do correct wording. He's done this many, many years. And I wish that Pramila Jayapal stay away. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I wish she would stay away. She hurt the situation last weekend by really calling Joe Manchin every name in the book over the weekend after he confided in her. That's just, you don't do that. That makes you look very bad, Pramila. Number two, she said, don't negotiate with him. Well, of course you have to negotiate with him. I mean, what land are we in here? And then I wish that Nancy Pelosi stay out of this as well. She said everything in that RECON's perfect. Don't touch it. No, it's not perfect. You need to touch stuff in that RECON. I hope that the senators do with the senators and keep it within the senators. Keep everyone out. You include me. You can include me. I'll bring the surfboard. I'll bring the flashing lights. I'll bring the purple ornaments. I'll decorate Chuck's office, and I'll look a lot better. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll bring a surfboard and put it right in Chuck's office. I'll say, on the other side is the finish line. I'm ready to surf to the finish line. Let's put the tow truck and the tow hitch on the surfboard and surf into the finish line, over the finish line. That's how we do it. And that's how we do it always on this channel. Thank you for being part of this incredible channel. Thank you for the incredible love and support. And thank you for watching today. Continuing programming continues all throughout the day. With a new expanded evening schedule, a new evenings LATE at 5 o'clock. Then we have evenings countdown, 6 o'clock. At 7 is holiday stream stimulus, half about this and half about your holiday decor. And then at 8 o'clock is the new runaway hit, which is called Evenings Extra. And with that, I'm so excited you're part of this incredible family. Make sure you subscribe. At 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of the incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Join me throughout the day and every day. Do not miss a single recording because there is such a fluid situation. I'm not saying that they aren't done having Zoom chats, because guess what? Maybe they'll have another one after they watch my recording. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.